How's it going, Tom?
Mm. What's up, buddy?
Enjoying
My oil can?
your oil can?
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
enjoying my oil can. How are you this fine, beautiful Saturday of recording?
Well, I could be doing better. In California, we have radical weather shifts. For a while it was raining, and then it was foggy and misty, and now the Ana winds blow in, and it's hot. We had it one day like it went up to like 80, and that messes with my allergies. So
Messing with
yeah, like I'm dealing with the sniffles, which is why
crazy.
instead of the hard stuff, I got some lemon ginger tea right here.
That's a good movie.
Yeah,
Or
it
comedy.
matches my t-shirt too. I don't
Um,
know if you could.
hey, nice.
For those of you listening, I'm wearing a Tommy Wiseau The Room t-shirt, and my coffee cup that I have my tea in just happens to match the t-shirt design because I got them both together at Tommy Wiseau's booth at I think it was WonderCon or LA Comic Con. It was one of those.
I did not hit her. I did not do it. I did not hit her. I did not.
Yeah, the actual quote is, "You're tearing me apart, Lisa." So
Oh, you're
that
sure?
is.
Yeah. I just like the rooftop scene. I just that rooftop scene kills me every time.
Yeah.
Before we start into the episode, as people can see in the title description, this is another serious one this week. I thought it'd be fun to catch up on something we did last year. We did two episodes about one was about the box office for original scripts because we talked about
Mm.
Sinners. I think that came out in July,
Yeah.
that episode we did. And then in the beginning of December, we did the Billboard charts.
Yep.
So I think because 2025 is over, we are in January now of 2026. We should just really quick update on those three things for the year of last year.
Yeah. So yeah, on the movie front, the highest grossing box office in the world, the film that made the most money worldwide for 2025, was that Chinese animated film that I mentioned that n no one in America's heard of. If I'm pronouncing it correctly, it's called Ne Zha 2.
So
And did
that kept just going. That movie just
Yeah.
kept going worldwide.
Yeah,
Wow.
Chinese people really turn out to see movies, maybe more than ever. Good for them. Yeah, that and the highest grossing original screenplay, it came in at number nine at year end. F1 the movie, starring Brad Pitt and made by it was the Top Gun Maverick guy, Joseph
That's why
Kosinski that
people,
made that.
that's why when you watch it, it's really like, oh, we did it from a cockpit. Now it's from the driver's seat.
Yeah.
I heard it was
Yeah.
good. I heard F1 was a good movie.
There's something about F1 that feels like a blast from the past, It's like the what was the hook? It wasn't like an IP, it was just we got race cars. That's exciting and Brad Pitt's in it. Uh
Yeah.
remember they used to promote movies like that. It was just we got this thing that's cool and it has this actor.
It
That's
was
all
shot
you
in
need.
IMAX. And it was shot in IMAX. It's like Top Gun, but it's on the ground and it's super intense. And I haven't seen it yet because the F1 movie sounded interesting to me because I did want to see Gran Turismo. I have a coworker at my job, shout
Hmm.
out to Carlos. He's big into racing games and like he's number three in the entire state of California when it comes to online racing.
Oh damn.
Yeah, he's
Nice.
good. And he said he saw Gran Turismo and he really liked it because it's like, oh, can they do it right? And now I'm like, oh, damn, now I kind of want to see F1 and the Gran Turismo because I did like Top Gun Maverick. I really did. It's like that movie was way better than it should have been. You gotta see it. You have to sit
I,
down and watch it, dude.
One of these days I will. Although I will say, I do admire Joseph Kosinski as an action director,
Oh
which
gosh,
is
yeah.
why, yeah.
Can't wait to see what other movie he's gonna do next because he did like, oh, we're in the cockpit and we made it real. Oh, we're in
Hmm.
the Formula race car driving. We'll make it real. I'm like, oh, what's next? I'm like, you know
Yeah.
what? Why isn't that guy doing the Star Wars type, Rogue One? Oh, sorry,
Yeah.
Rogue Squadron show.
It's a shame he did. It's a shame that Tron Legacy didn't do that well because that was like his debut was that movie, and that
It, you
movie,
know, I remember when it came out, everyone at school was like hyping it up.
yeah, it didn't like. I don't know if it like didn't break even, but it was just kind of
Oh,
lukewarm compared to what Disney was hoping for. Because that's like, okay, the story of that movie is like so-so, but
Oh, God, yeah,
it's
very
really
well.
immersive. Like the world of Tron as depicted in that movie is so friggin' cool. And partly it's because Joseph Kosinski, his direction is just really slick. Like it was his first time making first time in the director's seat, and he didn't feel like a hack for hire. He was like, oh no, this guy has a vision.
Oh
Um,
yeah, I've seen
yeah,
that movie too, and I'm like, this is the story sucks because it's like one, it's like a 40-year sequel for no reason, but two, I'm like, these visuals are dope, like the fight scenes, the flying scenes, the bike scenes, and Daft Punk was in it for a cameo. I like
yeah.
that,
Daft Punk did the music,
but
all the music.
it was awesome. I like the,
Yeah.
as the kids say, there was those Aurora farming moments with the bad guys.
Oh,
Those were cool.
yeah.
All right. And then, okay, so we did the original script, and now it's on to music. The
Yeah.
number one song of the year. It's Die with a Smile, correct? As I'm looking at my
Yeah,
phone.
by Lady Gaga and Bruno Mars, which I don't think I've ever. Oh, I can't think of the tune off my head.
It's from the Mayhem album from Lady Gaga. So it's interesting.
Hmm.
First off, this was actually released as a single in 2024 on August 16th, and then she just put it at the tail end of her 2025 album.
Hmm.
I actually do. I think you have heard it. It's more of like you hear it on social media in quick bits.
Oh, okay.
People are posting stuff. Like if you listen to it, you're like, oh, okay, I've caught that here and there. I sat down and actually listened to it today before this episode. I'm like, you know what? This isn't a bad song. This is nice. It brought back like, that early 2010s of like, oh yeah, like we got to come back to this type of music. This was good.
I understand like that's what Gaga's doing. Gaga did with her album in general. Like her new album was like kind of throwing back to like the hard dance pop. And I've heard other stuff in that album. It sounds really cool.
It's more if you dance to it, it's gonna be more for show and slow, but it's like a good
Hmm.
listen. It's nothing like, oh my God, they whoa, no, it's stuff, but when you listen to it, take a listen, it's like, oh, you know what? This is nice. This is nice. It's a good duet song. It's a good
Yeah.
like when you start off together, like start off one by one and then together with a big build up. And
Nice.
then so that was the song of the year, huh? For Billboard charts.
Yeah, and then the album was Taylor Swift's new album.
That makes sense. Life of a
Which,
Showgirl. I can't believe that came out in October. I thought that came out in December.
yeah, well, get it in time for people to put it on their Christmas list, not for people to buy it
Black
last minute.
Friday, Christmas. Yeah, I know my cousin, shout out to you, Claire, is a big, big Taylor Swift fan, and she said she enjoyed it. Like she stayed up all night listening to it twice.
Wow. See, the goss I've heard is that the album's like not good. That was the buzz I've heard. It was oh yeah, she definitely like cranked this out in a year. She got a little TMI about her relationship with Travis
Oh, the
Kelce.
the dick thing, the dick wood or whatever. Wood.
It's like, and like, oh, someone said it's like, okay, like Taylor Swift is like, with her lyricism, is like trying way too hard to make this sound more poetic than it should be.
Wasn't it? Wasn't it kind of like that though back then when artists kind of cranked stuff out with an under like a year and a half, like stuff came out kind of regularly.
That's pretty, I mean, that's like if you're at the top of the totem pole of pop, that's kind of what's expected of you. You just got to keep cranking out. That's why I admire like Chappell Roan. Chappell Roan's like, yeah, I'm not gonna hurry my next album. I'm gonna I'm gonna take some time.
I like that. It's like, nah, fuck that.
Yeah. I was like, yeah, I fuck with that. That's great. Uh, all right. Is that enough fun? Is that
Actually, yeah.
enough like pulpy, or not pulpy, but like frivolous fun?
Yeah,
Uh,
let's get into it for the next like what, 50 minutes right now.
yeah, sure.
So what's
So
this episode about? Jesus.
what?
You know what I mean? Like, what's this episode gonna do?
Well, it's just like Minnesota. If I were to describe what's happening in like what we see out of like Minnesota, Minneapolis, and St. Paul, it's like have you ever seen like a post Mad Max, post apocalypse like B movie? Where you reach the characters are in the town, but it's overrun by gangs, and they're all like overly padded, and they're all maniacally bad. All they want to do is just beat people up, and they roam around the cities on the whatever vehicles or whatever they're in, and they laugh maniacally, ha ha ha, violence, violence. That's basically what the Twin Cities look like, except the roaming gangs are deputized agents of the federal government, and they're wearing like soldier cosplay. Um,
Just walk away.
now,
Walk away.
but it's like okay to like not regurgitate sort of the doom and gloom of last week, but there are a few things that dropped this week that kind of give me some hope that this is like it's a thin hope, but it's like okay, this cannot be. It's a reminder that none of this is sustainable. This will end. This will stop. Um, and because it's structurally unsound. The first one drop that happened, it was something called the Ice List, which is like an actual wiki that somebody in the Netherlands made that full
Oh,
on,
yeah, yeah. It was like
yeah,
basically they released all the
yeah,
notes.
yeah. They
Wow.
got like whistleblowed. They got like whistleblowed, um documents like identifying like few thousand ICE agents and you could look them up and find some of their personal information. I looked through like the ones because you can look them up by state. And this isn't everyone. This is just like the ones they know about. What there was like one that they identified that's based in a field agent, a field. I guess there's a fucking field office for ICE in Bellflower, which is pretty close to where I live. Yeah, yeah, and they got his photo.
Wow.
So it's like, okay, all right. It's just might be a good resource to look at to make sure, like, nobody if you have like a sneaking suspicion that of like a family member or a friend that is not telling the truth about what job they have, it might be a good resource. Um,
Here's the thing that's interesting about that specific thing you're saying when someone basically released a list of names. Funny, we got an ICE agent list before the Epstein files.
yeah,
What's interesting though about that, okay, because I know what the arguments are going to be. It's like, well, it's for their safety and security. I'm like this. They're not doing international operations like the CIA. Like
yeah.
like that's they're working domestically, and
Mhm.
every police officer's name is on record. Like everyone knows it because one, they don't wear masks, and two, if
Yeah.
you talk to anyone who is a police officer or married to a police officer or a family member police officer, police officer, what do? Oh, my nephew's an officer of the law. My husband's an officer. You know what I mean? Like people proudly brag when you have a family member who wears a badge.
Yeah, yeah. No, it's like culturally and legally, like when it comes to any other police force, like identities are public. But for
And
some
it's
reason,
not that it's public, it's proudly bragged about.
yes,
I
yes.
I have a cousin who he's not an officer anymore. He used to be because he got a better job. He got a different job. But I'm like, when he was an officer, I'm like, my cousin's a cop. Like that's so cool. Like I lived with
Hmm.
him when I was living with him.
Yeah.
I'm like,
My
he's an
grand
officer. What? It's so cool.
yeah, my
It's you.
grandfather was a cop, and
Yeah,
that
you
was
brag about that shit. Everyone
yeah.
does. Family members, friends, spouses, partners. It's you don't keep that secret. Yet every ICE agent, the problem we have with ICE agents, I know there's a numerous ones, but one of the big ones is why are you covering your face? You're not Batman.
Yeah, like why would you take this like what makes this seem legit to you? Like you have to cover your face and you're trying to enforce the law. Um something else I've considered. What other state agency didn't wear masks, did not conceal their faces? The
Secret Service?
SS.
Oh, yeah. We're talking historical. Sorry. I thought you meant
Yeah,
like,
the actual Gestapo.
yeah,
I know we like to compare ice agents to the Gestapo, but the actual Gestapo did
they're,
not conceal their faces because
they're proud of
with
it.
yeah, yeah, and which I mean that kind of made the Gestapo worse as an entity within their country because it was like, oh, it's just generally accepted by the population that they're legit, that they are a legitimate agency,
Well, they were
and that you
feared.
have to bend to their authority.
Were feared, they were respected, and they were praised. I mean, you watch
Mhm.
any World War II movie from like Inglorious Bastards all the way to the Band of Brothers, Speaking of Brad Pitt, that movie Fury
Yeah,
and everything. Anytime an SS officer was spoken about, talked about, seen about, it was like a oh shit, like oh my
yeah,
god, it was a thing. Like that was the face of for the German people of high regard and respect, and for everyone else, kill them now, kill like fear and
yeah,
like gotta take. It's like they were like walking mini bosses. If you think about it,
yeah. And like the reason why you're seeing it's a good sign that they have to cover their faces because it's automatically like a tell that they are not a legitimate organization,
no,
that they do not have the respect of the American people that they can be, that they feel they can operate you know with their identities out.
if they,
um
yeah, because like, look, I don't really compare them to the Gestapo. Compare them more to the KKK because they cover their faces because they knew what they were doing was wrong. Deep down, subconsciously, every KKK member knew what they were doing was wrong, and
mhm.
that's why they did stuff late at night in groups with their faces covered,
Yeah.
and they didn't talk about it outside their group.
That's been like a debate I've been hearing, like people saying, don't compare them to the Gestapo, compare them to, like you said, the KKK, or I've heard a lot of like slave catchers, um, comparing their behavior to slave catchers, and one of the arguments I've been hearing of like comparing it to things that are actually part of American history is that it invites people to kind of invites Americans to look inward and say, oh, this is a part of our
History
past.
repeated.
This is a
Yeah,
part of our heritage.
for America. Yeah,
And I think I mean, that's a compelling argument. I'm more of the lines of like, can it just be all of those things? Can we call them like Nazi Confederates?
I think
Can we
people
just
are.
do it all?
I think people are using that because it's sad to say it's how to sell it better to get people on board, how to route, how to, what I mean?
Yeah.
Unfortunately, what did you say yesterday? Like, I think, sorry, what did you say about the last week's episode? You brought something brought something up about optics.
Yeah.
Optics wise, I mean, Gestapo, I understand what you're saying about that because the whole thing of show me your papers is more of what the SS did when rounding up Jews.
Yeah.
But when it comes to covering your face, like you said, the Gestapo or the SS, they were looked upon with high respect and high like regard and
Mm.
fear. They meant business. They were also organized. The KKK was never organized, still to this day, and even back in their heyday of the late 1800s, those guys were just a bunch of dumbasses who got together at night, and barely did much. They just caused a bit of terror, which I'm not trying to like downplay the evil that they did
Mm.
with lynching and stuff and fucking the Tulsa massacre and everything else, but they were not organized. They're not they
Yeah.
hell, you know how much infighting the KKK has amongst each other?
Yeah.
There's a reason why they're still just considered a who gives a shit group because of how much infighting they have.
I think the infighting remark is a good transition because something else dropped this week. It's an article. Actually, I mean, he's written a few more articles since then, but this came out on the 12th. Um, if you're not familiar with an independent journalist by the name of Ken Klippenstein, I highly recommend you read his work. Uh, he's been doing some really great. He's been getting a lot of leaked documents. He's clearly has some sort of contact within DHS that's leaking him stuff, and major news organizations are definitely piggybacking off of his work, but not always giving him credit.
Oh,
Definitely look up Ken Klippenstein. But he wrote this article called "Immigration Air Agents Terrified of ICE Backlash After Shooting." And it talks about it's kind of exposing like some of how their procedures are working. Um, One thing that I think is disturbing is their OPSEC policies, which say be mindful. OPSEC of course means operational security.
operation.
It's
Huh?
it's a common like government term. They use it in the military and law enforcement to like keep stuff classified, need to know basis, stuff like that. Be mindful of OPSEC and officer safety. Do not wear your uniform or any piece of your uniform when entering or exiting your hotel. Do not display any border patrol or law enforcement insignia on your belongings. Do not divulge meeting, staging, or operation location. Do not divulge anything related to your operations. Be mindful what you post on social media. Turn off your location settings and set page to private. Always employ situational awareness. Um, the crazy thing is like they're holding up these guys in up. I mean, I know they have field offices, but they're holding up a lot of these guys in like hotels.
Yeah.
Like they're just like drawing people from all over, and it's like you're not using, you don't have like a local base, you know? Like if you were to work, like if you worked in the FBI and you live
Yeah, the field
here,
headquarters.
yeah, like you'd probably work at the LA field headquarters or like the federal building in Los Angeles, and it's like,
Or,
yeah,
like, remember what we saw in Patriots Day about the Boston Marathon bombing? They found a warehouse and set up shop.
yeah,
It's like, so
and
you
it's
have a
yeah.
headquarters. It's the thing, not a hotel. Is the what are they using? Fucking Motel Sixes? Like shit.
No, they're using Hilton's, which is why Hilton is on some
Oh,
boycott lists.
that's
And
gotta
and
be
there've been some Hiltons that I think have like started to independently, like not a corporate policy, but starting to like refuse service to them.
something to look into why they're using
I
Hilton.
don't know what, and I don't know if it's just Hilton. I'm sure it's not just Hilton. But I think
No, but
Hilton is like
like
one that people know for sure.
if it's mostly Hilton's, that's something to look into because it kind of corresponds with just to quickly sidetrack, we're going to bring it back to this. I'm not trying to move on, but it's kind of like the first buyer for the Venezuelan oil is a Trump donor.
Mm.
One of the big
Hmm.
Trump donors was the
Yeah.
first one to get the Venezuelan oil. So it's like, look into it.
Yeah. Yeah, and they're yeah, so like that's one thing this article talked about. It also talks about how like a lot of high level people within DHS, like people that work directly under Kristi Noem, are like getting skittish, especially after like Kristi Noem was outright villainizing Renee Good, and saying, oh, she committed an act of domestic terror by trying to leave with her car and not actually hit Agent Jonathan Ross. Um, which they tried to double down on that, and they released a statement saying he had internal bleeding, which most of us are saying, oh, what? He had a bruise. He had a bruise.
And guess
That's
what,
what you mean,
Travis?
internal bleeding?
Travis? As give us the launch codes, we are actually experts on internal bleeding. You know why?
Oh, why is that?
I've had it twice. I know what
Oh,
it means to internally bleed. And trust me, you're not walking like that when you're
no,
in,
no, you're not staying standing.
especially if it's that instant of an impact,
Yeah,
quote unquote. No, you're not being able to walk as far as he did to the car and walk as far as he did back to his car and operate a vehicle. Because I've had it twice, and let me tell you, I've had internal bleeding where I've been covered in a pool of my own blood, neck down,
yeah,
also where I had internal bleeding. Remember when I was, I think it was about now 4 or 5 years ago. And no, you're in pain. You're like
yeah,
in the most balled up, clenched, not white knuckling fist pain,
yeah,
where you're either doing everything it takes not to cry and scream, or you're passed out. So
yeah,
no, he did it. By
yeah.
the way,
So.
I believe the local fire department of Minneapolis said, no, we checked. He never checked into a hotel. I mean, he never checked into a hospital to begin with. He's never checked. Also, too, how are you able to move out of your own house with internal bleeding? Because it takes about 2 weeks to heal from internal
Yeah,
bleeding.
if he had internal bleeding, like that would be an elongated hospital stay, and we
Well,
would
not
probably
not
know.
it's about 4 days, depending. It is,
Yeah,
but it's about 2 weeks of recovery because of the amount of blood loss.
yeah, and we'd probably know which at that point we know which hospital because they would if he did check into a hospital, they probably would have heavily guarded it, and that would have gotten out.
Oh,
Like,
there'd
oh,
be pictures of him in bed. There'd be an interview of his wife crying next to him because he would not be conscious during that first 24, 12 hours because of surgery. There would be a lot of media attention. Trust me, it would have been
Christine
public.
Nome would have traveled to that hospital and make and like grandstand a speech there. They'd have brought the podium and
Oh,
everything.
she would have been next to him holding his hand for pictures and stuff. No, so
Oh
yeah.
yeah.
Oh, and also, again, there's pictures of him like 2 days after moving out of his house.
Yep.
He moved out of his house with him. So no bullshit me. I've had internal bleeding. That's such bullshit.
Yeah. Yeah, and so yeah, so it's like upwards. There's people within DHS that um are kind of second guessing. Like, I don't think maybe we shouldn't double down on this. Maybe we should like pull back, regroup. You
They're like,
know. Yeah, but that's who's gonna I don't know, overrule Nome on that. It's not what Christine Nome wants. It's not
They
what
want
Trump
a
wants.
job. They want a job and a career, not get blacklisted. They're not going to overrule her.
Yeah.
That's the
Although,
thing. It's
although
almost
I think they should be worried about going to prison. That's just me. Uh, they should be worried about, say another president comes in, having to lawyer up. Yeah, no, like there's that. They're like, and I found out why we're starting to see a lot of Border Patrol agents because I always thought like Border Patrol hangs out at the border, you know? The
north and
whole point
south.
of it's patrolling the border. But no, they're like it's almost like they want to like flood the streets like of Minneapolis like crazy to where they're like drawing people from other they're like cannibalizing themselves, like drawing people from other agencies and they're asking them to volunteer. Not that they're not getting paid to do that. So it's like are they not able to like
I know.
hire have they blown
Cost.
through their budget all they have a budget bigger than most countries' militaries
Yes,
and
they
are they
do.
blowing through it that quickly?
Understand how quick money is spent with an army. And I'm not talking like, I'm not saying in the sense of like, oh, we're at war and like that. I'm like, no, like any kind of mobilization of forces costs money and it bleeds fast.
Yeah.
Like, here's a great example. During the tail end of World War II, did you know that we almost went bankrupt because of World War II? Because of how much money was being spent that we almost didn't have fuel in the planes or ammo and for the guns. Like,
Yeah, that makes
did
sense.
you know what saved? You know what one of the main big things that saved us during World War II to keep fighting? The flag
Hmm.
raising of Iwo Jima, that picture, that big bond drive. That's
Yeah.
what saved us because we were this close. I'm talking this fucking close to not being able to get planes off the ground. It costs money to move an
Interesting.
army. Well, what's the most common saying in our species history? An army moves on its stomach. Yeah, means money bleeds fast. Bleeds fast. You're gonna. They said they want. I heard almost like they want an extra 2,000 bodies in Minneapolis quick. It's like that costs money. That costs money. Like, you gotta feed, clothe, pay, overtime, everything you can think of. It costs money. And the fact that you said that the budget for this is more than like most countries' military, it's like, Jesus, what happened to cutting costs? What happened to helping the deficit, bringing down costs? What happened to Doge? All of a sudden now we have all this money for just one city. All of a sudden we have all this damn money
Yeah.
to flood the
You,
streets.
you don't see any Republicans talking about the debt no more. Of course, they never do that when they're in office. Yeah, this one quote from quote a high level from what is referred to whom is referred to as a high level career official at Homeland Security headquarters in Washington. Um, doesn't name the person, obviously, it's an anonymous source, so we'll take their word for it. The quote is there might be some immature knuckleheads who think they're out there trying to capture Nicolas Maduro, but most field officers see a clear need for de escalation. There's a genuine fear that indeed ICE's heavy handedness and the rhetoric from Washington is more creating a condition where the officers' lives are in danger rather than the other way around. Which I'd be like, well, first of all, you
Uh,
guys you guys killed people. As far as I know, I don't think we at time of recording we haven't had any announcement of an ICE agent being murdered. Um,
no, we
but
haven't.
we
No,
can
we
only
haven't.
fear.
That guy would have been plastered more than Charlie Kirk. So no, no ICE agent has been murdered. No, no.
B-
He
But
would have been
it's like
plastered like Charlie Kirk's face. Bullshit.
yeah, but it's like okay, but it's like there's fear. There's definitely fear that like there's some sane people within DHS that I guess have their hands tied that are like, dude, you're making this worse. You're making this worse. So I don't know how long. So I see that I'm like, okay, there's definitely that sounds like dysfunction. That sounds like a lot of dysfunction um and to piggyback of that, the last thing we wanted to talk about, the last big news drop happened. Um came from website Slate. Now, unfortunately, I can't quote the article here because the article is paid wall. So we're gonna do what we I'm gonna do what we did with the Signal Gate thing, where I'm gonna read an article about an article. Uh, so the article
Hey,
about
hey,
an article.
that's a good t-shirt idea. I'm gonna read an article about an article. That's good, dude. I like how you
Oh,
said
that's perfect.
an article about an article. That's actually a good album cover. That's a good album title. An article about an article. Dude, that's sorry, I don't mean to cut you off and tangent off, but that's amazingly brilliant.
Okay, we'll keep that in mind. Article about an article. Yeah. So this article that I'm quoting, that I'm reading off of, is from The Independent. Anti-Trump journalist claims ICE offered
Mhm.
her a job after 6-minute interview and sloppy vetting by James Summerlad. But all James Summerlad is doing is just quoting the original article by Laura Jadid over at Slate. So I might quote. I'll quote some things and I'll like summarize other things. So Laura Jadid back in August went to, and I guess she's from Texas. I don't know, but that's why she was there. She went to an ICE Career Expo event at the Esports Stadium in Arlington near Dallas, and which was offering on-the-spot hiring for deportation officers. Um, Now Laura Jadid is a vet. She had two deployments in Afghanistan with the 82nd Airborne Division and then worked as a civilian analyst. So she has government experience, but
Hey, Flim Flam, goddamn, we're airborne infantry.
but she is self-described anti-Trump and anti-ICE. She is very much, to put it lightly, a critic of those things, which you would think would prevent ICE from wanting to hire her. But she was able to book an appointment with a recruiting officer.
Yeah, I heard about this story. Yeah, yeah.
She and they asked her, it lasted like about 5 minutes.
Yeah, I heard it
They
was in
asked
the
her like, what's your name? What's your birth date? What's your age? Um, do you have law enforcement or military circumstances? And can you tell us why you left those services? Can you explain your um, you know, employment gap? And she gave like without telling everything, like, "Hey, I'm a journalist for a liberal news outlet." And it's not saying that she kind of told like the most basic truth possible, just to kind of see what would happen.
yeah.
Um, yeah, so they said, yeah, she was told they're prioritizing your current law enforcement first, or they're prioritizing current law enforcement first for
Right.
hiring. They're gonna adjudicate your resume. And then as she's leaving, she talks to like a deportation officer that was on duty in the office. And she said that if she was hired, um, she would likely hit the streets right away. And if I actually remember, she specifically, the officer first said, "Oh, well, they don't just take in anybody." And then she said, "Well, I might actually want like a desk job rather than a field job." And the officer's like, okay, whoa. Like the officer changed his tune. It's like, whoa, whoa, just to warn you, like, if they hire you, you're going in the field. They're sending everybody.
Yeah, because they
Um,
need the bodies. They need bodies. It's fucking meat grinder, dude.
so the expo happened, I think it was like August 25th of last year. So September 3rd, she received an email in which she was being made a tentative offer.
Yeah,
Uh,
right. Hey,
and she was instructed to go to a government jobs website and fill out some paperwork with like all her personal information like driver's license. Do you have any prior convictions, do you consent to a background check, stuff like that. um I've done, have you ever done had to do a background check for a job
all
before?
my jobs. All my
Okay.
jobs.
I once did a job where I did a background check, and this was like rigorous. I don't know why they had this. So it was like, okay, what did you do in between this job and this job? And it's like, it was a website, so it's like I had to fill in information, even stuff like, okay, where did you live before you moved here, and where did you live before that? Really
Good.
rigorous. And I remember, and then after I got hired, I I remember I once I did that, I remember they got back to me and said, "Hey, wait a second, we noticed like a mistake." or something, or I think they were asking for like a W-2 form, which I
Yeah,
didn't
yeah.
provide, and I
Basically,
had
you
to,
got flagged. Yeah, yeah.
yeah, yeah. So I had to, and I was like, oh, I'm sorry, I didn't, my mistake, clerical error, and I resolved the error. But that told me, okay, someone actually looks at this. Someone is
Yeah.
actually looking through this. This isn't
Yeah.
just being ignored. And that was not for a government job. I'll tell you that. That was not for a job, let alone a job in law enforcement.
Yeah, man, that wasn't even a job for the right to be able to carry a gun on the clock.
It was just a desk job.
Yeah, that shows you. That just shows you though.
So
Like,
well, I haven't
hey,
I
when I
haven't
was
got I haven't got to that part. I'm just
I'm just saying, no, I'm saying though, like when I was at In-N-Out, the background check was serious.
hmm
Job I'm at right now, the background check was taken seriously.
Yep.
I did a damn bookstore job for a community college, and trust me, it was taken seriously. They, they did not mess around.
So to set that up, to prime you with, how we had jobs with serious background checks, um, Laura Jadi did not fill any of that paperwork that they asked her to fill out. She was like, nah, I don't need to give you my driver's license. I don't need to give you the most sport history. Uh, I'm not like, and I don't know if she just thought like I'll just end the article there or I have no article. Um, I don't know, or if she was testing them, if she was deliberately testing them to see like would they not hire her. She went on the website with her application on September 30th, so this is the end of the month now. We went from the beginning of the month to the end of the month. Um, and the site claimed that she had already accepted a final offer, that she was being entered into duty and she was gonna like report to, she had like a date set for like you're gonna report on duty. I even think okay, listen to this. She claims that the site also listed her as having passed a fitness test and a background check on October 6th, despite it being only October 3rd at the time.
Yeah, yeah,
They just passed her. They're like, whatever. She declined the position. Now she declined the position, but it's like, oh shit, I can get hired that easily.
yes,
Uh, Generally, if I've applied for jobs where I found the hiring process to be too easy, and I looked more into it, and it turned out to be very sussy, and so like I
yeah,
just declined the offer. Yeah, DHS denied it. DHS claimed
yeah,
that Jadid was lying. Quote, applicants may receive a tentative selection letter following their initial application and interview. That is not a job offer. This individual was never in all caps, offered a job at ICE. Um, Now I know that Jadid then posted on the platform after that. Then Jadid posted on the platform formerly known as Twitter a video that she took of her and her computer, uh,
yeah.
showing the final offer. She's like, yeah, right. Um,
You,
so
I don't think our current administration, even any administration, but right now the current administration doesn't understand the internet age and social media age of like people keep receipts. It's not that hard.
well, I want to put this in perspective because arguably a lot of this started with uh, um, Nick Shirley and his stupid, thoroughly debunked video claiming that a daycare that just happens to have a lot of Somali Minnesotans, was defrauding the state government. That page, or excuse me, that video was bumped up by members of the White House, including the
Yes,
president.
yes,
It turned into a big fake ass scandal, so quickly to the point where I'm like actually where I'm pretty sure that like Nick Shirley probably like this was all part of a psyop that Shirley did with Republicans. I mean, it's actually known that he like collaborated with someone that works within the Minnesota like Republican Party and the Republican caucus within the Minnesota State Assembly. So like, but that opened up all this stuff like, whoa, we gotta start really auditing where our funds go. Tim Walz resigned and disgraced because he's a pussy. Oh, what else is being frauded? What else is? Oh, we should send ICE agents to deal with that for some reason. Um, Compare that response to a reporter pointing out that um, the hiring process at a massively funded law enforcement agency. I'm putting law enforcement agency in quotes because they're actually a paramilitary, but that's what they're officially referring to it.
Mhm.
Um, I mean, to put this in perspective, let's say that like Antifa was an actual organization in the same way that like ISIS, Al Qaeda, and Hamas and stuff like those are actual terrorist organizations. Let's say Antifa is all the things that the right and the Trump administration have made it out to be, that they are the worst and most deadliest terrorist organization ever. And do you think like it sounds like if that was the case, one of those guys could really get in? Like easily can infiltrate ice so easily. And I'm just thinking, if they're as bad as they say they are, I'm imagining a scenario that I am making up for the purposes, for rhetorical purposes. I'm not saying do this. I'm saying don't do this. But I'm just saying, like, what if like an Antifa guy who's like a genuine jihadi terrorist, whatever, got into ICE and then brought a bomb to the field office? They could probably pull it off.
You're saying
It's
it's this slap together organization that's basically half-assing it. It can be easily infiltrated, and then that's actually how their agents get killed and hurt. Really, that's what you're
and
getting at.
with that as a legitimate possibility, the fact that DHS's reaction is deny, deny, deny,
Hmm?
as opposed to, oh, we've heard concerns that are higher that we've had tech. They didn't even do like a PR bullshit. Like it seems we're experiencing technical difficulties with our hiring website. We are thoroughly looking into this. They didn't even do that. They just denied it outright
Yeah.
because these people have no shame. These people have no humility at all. They are filled with hubris, and their only retort is to double down and deny there's a problem, and even a problem from their side, from their ideological side, that hey, your organization might be undermined, it could be
Heighten it up.
easily undermined.
Well,
Uh,
it shows you that the real danger from ICE is the fact that it's not organized, and that's why it's also dangerous. It really
mhm.
is. This disorganization is actually can get scary, especially involving this. Because look at it this way too, and as we found out with more stuff coming out this past week, it's under 6 weeks training. That's bad. Some of the physical tests have been taken away because it's like, it's hard to run uphill or do push-ups and pull-ups and sit-ups. And so it's like the physical test has been watered down to the point of like what? Freaking middle school PE?
Like they're just pulling guys off the streets,
No, well, they
essentially.
are. They are because to do what Trump promised at the beginning of 2024 during his campaign leading into this,
Mhm.
right? Presidency, to do what he promised and to do it and to deliver it fast, there's no time to train. There's no time to organize. There's no time to set up. There's no time to test out certain, classroom curriculum or workout routines or like, for example, what's going to be the preferred sidearm for this kind of like what kind of tools would be preferred for this operation. There's no time. They just slapped everything together because it's like, hey, I'm going to promise to get all these illegals out of here. Yeah, okay, he's going to just pull everyone he can, slap together as he can because it's about speed. Speed, speed, speed.
Yeah.
Speed is bad, especially when you're doing stuff like this. Speed is dangerous and bad. Yes, I know what you're saying. Like, there's hope of that. This isn't that, like, you can't take this seriously because of how, like, just bullshit it all is and how
Well,
slapped
I
together it
wouldn't
is.
say you can't take it seriously. I wouldn't say that. I would say that the hope is that this is gonna collapse in on
You're
itself.
right. Sorry. I should say that your take is that there's hope because of how just slapped together it is. But at the same time, folks, keep in mind that's how also dangerous it is because there's no training. If you have real training, we wouldn't see any of this stuff. None of this would have happened if there was actual legit training, trigger discipline, at de-escalation tactics, learning another language for what you need to do, learning the law, learning this, organization, how to surround a car properly, how to enter a business properly. Hell, okay, going back to Nick Shirley, this whole Somalian fraud stuff. Have you noticed that no ICE agents ever went into those daycares after his, investigation?
Not that I've heard, no.
No, it would have been on the news. It would have been on the news. That's what I'm
Yeah.
saying. After Nick Shirley's big ass revelation and blowing off the top of the lid of fraud, did any of those daycares that he had on all his YouTube videos get flooded with ICE? No.
Yeah.
No.
Mhm.
No, no, no. Nothing happens. So it's like, no, that's all bullshit. Because nothing is being, not only is nothing being done, it's because there's nothing to be done.
What I would say, yeah, yeah, and I mean, what they're doing is, I guess they feel like they can't, um, you know, they feel like they can't go after like just simply like Latinos. I guess they're really harping on this, like, hey, is a Democrat state run by the vice presidential candidate that ran against me. And it has a very huge diasporic population of mostly Muslim black people who are immigrants. And it's like, okay, Muslim black immigrant, ah, we can capitalize on that as like, to move our ire of hate.
Oh,
Um,
and add this to it too, because I've heard some people talking about it. Look at the landscape of the Twin Cities. It's kind of flat. Don't have to run uphill as much.
yeah, and on top of that, have you noticed like with the image coming out of the Twin Cities, there's no looting. And
Really?
I feel confident saying no looting because every time there's like a clash, a big public clash with law enforcement, the
Mhm.
news loves to show looting. They love to show images of scoundrel black people breaking into Targets, or setting or catching a
Or
storefront
Nike
on fire or a car on fire, and like,
getting those
oh
shoes.
no, the urban locals are out of control. Like, but you're not seeing that. You know
Yeah, because
why? Yeah,
we know
it's
why.
mhm.
Know why? Because this is way different than George Floyd and every other fucking bullshit protests and all that crap involving with law enforcement or the reaction to something that law enforcement did horrifically. This is a serious thing where you're saying, "Hey, be prepared to show your papers." No, fuck you.
It is literally an invasion force coming to these cities. So it's like actually the locals are the ones like if anything the regular people are the ones protecting those storefronts
Yeah, because they're
because
pissed.
you know who's breaking into them? ICE. Well, you heard that story of like ICE agents eating at a Mexican restaurant and then that same night they like kidnapped the people that worked there?
The entire staff.
Yeah.
Yes, I know. That's what I'm saying. This is different than just like, you know, the Watts riots, 1992. This is different than George Floyd. Like I said, this is different than everything involving something horrifically happening at the hands of law enforcement. This is different because it's not just some one-time event where like a cop became an asshole or something bad happened and well, the person was in custody with law enforcement. This is different, Travis. This is
Yeah.
them saying, be prepared to show your papers.
and
That that's
and it's like
that's
and it's yeah it's like it's not an excuse for everyone to just vent frustrations or take
no
advantage. No, it's ice, it's federal
government.
military coming to people's door. That's another thing that's disturbing about the images. There's a lot of houses in the background. It's
Yes.
not like it's not like the streets beneath the skyscrapers,
What the business
or yeah, it's like where people, and I'm not saying people don't live where the skyscrapers are, it's like, apartments and stuff like that. But it's like, no, 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 full on residential areas that
suburbs.
all this is taking place in.
Yes. This isn't shopping centers, shopping malls, business districts, industrial districts. This is the residential suburban area that everyone sees in a movie or a TV show.
Yeah.
I mean, look example with the footage when you look at the background of where Renee Good was killed. Someone had a random shark sculpture in their fucking lawn. Like it's the most like just this is my home area. This is happening
Yeah.
on the streets of residential property.
Yeah. So it's like it's like the danger it's like, this is coming to people's homes whether they like it or not.
This is
And
this
and the
is
people are
literally
just reacting appropriately.
this is
Like,
literally on the home front. And
mm-hmm.
again, this administration doesn't get that everyone has a recording device that's hooked straight to the internet.
Yep.
You cannot bullshit anymore. If you say something within minutes or seconds, it'll be debunked or backed up.
And these people are organized. You're hearing more stories of people talking about like community chats that they're on,
Yes.
where they'll
The
like
only
they'll get pinged like, oh, there's an ice sighting in this area, and then boom, 100 people show up with whistles and recording
yes,
devices, like, we got you bastards, you can't just disappear this guy, we
yes.
got you on record.
And
Um,
yes, the whole thing about like well, I've said it before a few times. I said it in last week's episode. This is not how you go about it. There's a way to go about it properly and within the eyes of the law, within the boundaries of the law, to be like this, okay, hey, hey, let's make sure we have like everything kosher here. There is a way to do that. There is. This is completely not the way to do it because you're gonna get innocent people killed. And guess what? Regardless if you're illegal or not, your crime of like, hey, you lost your life because you crossed the border illegally, it's like that still makes you innocent, you dumb fuck.
mhm.
It does. It's not like and here's the thing, if they say like, oh, we're capturing the rapists and the rape kill the the hard criminals, the crazy people, the rapists, I'm like this. Never once seen ICE do anything in East LA. I'm a
Yeah.
Californian. I'm a Californian. Every Californian knows where the real big, hardcore, dangerous gangs are. They're in
Hmm.
fucking East LA. There's fucking Compton. There's fucking Inglewood. There's the fucking Bay Area, and I'm talking like not like where San Francisco is, where you can get the biggest
Oakland.
Sunday in the world. We as Californians, to the
Hmm.
point where the entire country, because of our entertainment, we know where the hardcore criminals, where you'll get shot just by walking down the wrong street or what you wear.
Hmm.
They've never entered there. You know why?
Hmm.
Because there'd be bodies on the floor.
And even then, a lot of that gang activity is not as numerous as it used to be. It's like a
No,
lot of that
it's
was
not.
kind of informed by, the rise of violent crime in the 1990s.
Yes,
And
I know. Yeah, but that I'm
and
saying that just shows you. That just shows you that you're
like
going.
my neighborhood where I live in probably used to be like that, but now I just have to like the only thing to worry about is like, the occasional like homeless person. And
Stepping
even
on
then,
dogs.
yeah.
The only thing, whenever I visit your house, the only thing I'm concerned about is fucking where's the dog shit at? Because people sometimes don't pick up.
Yeah.
That's what
Yeah,
I worry.
sometimes, yeah. Yeah, and it's like, yeah, so like, yeah, and it's which the worst is like, oh, some, homeless person is digging through my recycle bin, which means they need which go ahead, you need that way more than I do. That's why I threw it out.
That's what I'm
Um
saying. No, but like
so
this is what it's so hilarious that those who are funding, supporting, and commanding and giving orders to this organization called ICE, it's like you don't get it. It's like this. If you're really going after the dangerous people, we all know where they are in this country. You never
Mhm.
entered those areas, those neighborhoods. Because you know why?
No.
Because their agents would be killed. They would be. Go roll up on some vatos in LA, man. You know what's gonna fucking happen to them. Go roll up on some fucking a biker gang, like the Mongols. No,
We got
be
some
serious.
Mongols.
No, I'm serious. So anyone, like you
Hmm.
know why? The Bloods, the Crips, any any organization near the Chicago area, New York area, it's like you know why? They're going after people who are just literally our busboys, our waitresses, our cooks, our hotel employees, our
It's the
gardeners.
unemployable punishing the employable, if you think about it.
It
Because it's
is.
like, just people like, oh, I want that $50,000 bonus, even though I didn't read the fine
Five
print in
years.
that
Yeah, you have to
5
wait five
years.
years for that anyway. And apparently you're not making even 100K. You're only making maybe 50, as we've seen with footage, because the internet age, you
Yeah.
got everything there.
Yeah, yeah. And I want to push back on the idea that training is the issue here because the real reason they're doing this, the real reason they're causing all this mayhem, in such overwhelming force that it outnumbers the police. Uh, the reason why they're doing that is because it's a broader plot. It's a broader plan for Trump to try to take even more control of the country. He wants to. He's outright threatened to do this. He wants to enact the Insurrection Act, which would then basically give National Guard authority to basically do police actions within in domestic territory. And in that case, it would be for Minnesota. Um, and the way that will happen is they're trying to provoke a response.
Yes,
They
just
want somebody to bring a gun. Like I fear, they want a random citizen to bring a gun and start shooting at ICE agents, and they'll use that. You have an insurgency problem. It's not just some lone rando
yeah.
that got
Well,
fed up. No, you have a real insurgency problem. We're gonna occupy, full on legit occupy, and the only silver lining of that would be like National Guardsmen are better trained. These
and they're weekend warriors anyway.
Yeah, than these fucking guys who are all like we know for sure that some of them are Proud Boys. So we know they have like actual neo-Nazis in their rank. If you want to know what happened to a lot of Jan Sixers that Trump pardoned, they joined ICE.
The
Think
leader,
about it when Trump
the
said
founder,
like,
the founder of the Proud Boys is listed as an ICE agent.
yeah,
It's called
yep.
it's you can't hide anything nowadays. I mean, we know that also too. It's not just trying to get an excuse to be like, hey, we're gonna unleash all basically military that we have in our capabilities against these people. It's also too, what was supposed to be released last year that has still not gotten released? Oh God, I don't know. I know it involves getting handsy with underage girls, but you know what? The name of that list is beyond me now, I guess at that point.
Hey, just look up the timing of Nick Shirley's video
Yeah, I know.
when
Oh,
that the date that dropped.
that interview you sent me, he asked him that. And it's like, hey, and here's the thing, all that guy asked him in the interview was like, hey, do you think it's kind of like coincidental? Like, did you ever look into that? How weird that is? It's not, and then you know what Dick Shirley did? Well, it's not an attack. And it's like he never used that word. He just asked,
Dude,
isn't that kind of weird?
Dude, okay, check out this for the audience. Like, look up Nick Shirley's being interviewed by Andrew Callahan on his YouTube channel, Channel 5 with Andrew Callahan. Look that up. It pretty much
Watch it.
exposes Nick Shirley as being like
A
a,
dumbass.
a, a dummy, like a legit, probably reads at a fourth grade reading level dummy. Like when
Yeah.
he says stupid shit, it's either because he's lying and lying really badly, or he's just like he says dumb shit because he actually believes it because he's dumb. And
Yeah.
I gotta say, if that's the future of right-wing influencers in this country, like, because think about it, you have to be, if you like Trump, not voted for Trump, like actually like him and believe that he is doing a great job authentically in your mind, you have to be very freaking stupid. You can't be like Tucker Carlson knows better. Ben Shapiro knows better. They lie to their audience, otherwise, but they're smart dudes. They know how to lie about that stuff properly. Nick Shirley doesn't. And it's like, is this like the first generation of like the post-Trump MAGA MAGA bred Republican influencer? Is this the beginning of that? And if it is, if we're gonna have like if the next generation of Republican conservative influencers and pundits are gonna be like so dumb you wonder how they can tie their shoes. I see that. I mean, some might fear, like, oh my God, idiocracy is real. Maybe for half the country, but for the
Yeah.
other half, if they're that dumb and the other half is very smart, I'm just saying it's a double-edged sword.
He
It could
he's
it could actually work out. It could actually like get so bad it'll flip in the side of what is right and what is intelligent.
He is
Uh,
so dumb. I hope Fuentes and him debate because even Fuentes is like, dude, nothing you do matters. Even Fuentes said that on one of his tweets. None of your work's going to matter in the end. Nothing's going to happen with what you did. Don't bullshit yourself.
I don't
Yeah.
know if he means that or if he's just bitter this guy's getting more attention than he is.
No, Fuentes is getting. I'll give Fuentes this. The dude is actually literate and reads.
Yes. No, Fuentes knows exactly what he's doing with his shtick.
Yeah, but he reads. He
Um,
actually does bring research of what I mean. He reads. That's the thing.
yeah.
That's what's funny. It's the whole point of all what we're talking about, folks. Too, is just one. Don't first of all, you're never supposed to trust the government. That's just 101 of being an American. You're not supposed to trust the government at all. You're supposed to hope. You vote. You
Yeah.
hope they do, but you hold them accountable on every fucking action they do,
Hmm.
and you don't buy into the Kool-Aid like you never are supposed to. That's why we fought. Like, what the hell? We don't trust the government so much. We killed each other for over 4 years.
And to think, and just so and no one thinks that we're just Republican bashing because we're a bunch of libtards.
I'm
Um,
not. Remember, you know me. I fucking hate
oh
Democrats
yeah,
too.
oh yeah, no, and the Democrats have been terrible on this. Recently, this week, we've seen like Chuck Schumer and Cory Booker, and like the very establishment wing of the Democratic Party, being like, oh, we just got to retrain them. We just got to give them body cams. And this is where I push back on your like the training is the problem. Training is not the problem. The whole
Oh,
foundation is the problem.
well, I'm saying the training is also a scary thing because untrainedness is also dangerous.
It
I get
is
what you're saying.
dangerous. I'm just thinking like if these guys were quote unquote properly trained, they would be way scarier. They would, or rather, they would be more efficient in how they would do things, which is still really, really scary. Again, it's back
You
to
know what?
the
You're
SS
right.
thing. It's like
You
they're
are
not
right.
there yet. They want to be that, but
They
they're
never will,
they're
though.
they're
They
not
never
there.
will. They never
Not if
will.
we can help it.
Even so, they'd have to send everyone home. It would take
Hmm.
full year of training. They would lose all that ground. It'll never happen. And
Yeah.
I'd like to, I'd like to say something too, to because I'm speaking at the beginning when we talked about the that one ICE agent's bullshit hospital stay. I saw this online, and I think everyone should pay attention to this. Um, if at any chance anyone is assaulted and injured by ICE and they have to seek emergency medical care of any kind, ask for a forensic nurse exam.
Ooh.
That will hold up better in court. Ask for
Interesting.
a forensic nurse exam. If you get
Hmm.
injured, hurt, well, just overall, you should actually, when you think about that logically, if you get hurt or
Yeah.
injured, anyone, but especially where we're at, yeah.
And call a lawyer. Get a lawyer. Because,
Oh, if you're
oh
dude,
man,
this is the fucking bread and butter for lawyers right now this year.
and you know another sign of hope. Trump this administration has not done well in court. When they've been sued, they
Ooh.
like lose a lot of their cases. When they like try to press charges on like Trump's enemies, it doesn't go well for him. Like remember they tried to pull some bullshit charges on James Comey and the judge basically threw it out because the prosecutor was so fucking incompetent. He literally told the jury, oh, well, if he pleads the Fifth Amendment, that's a sign of guilt, which lawyers are not supposed to do that.
No, it's like set up for a reason. All the amendments are set up for a specific reason where you can't touch them. You can't even argue them.
Yeah. Um, I was gonna conclude on something, or
Well, I like how you're talking about hope, and I know you're gonna remember
oh
what you're
yeah.
gonna conclude on, but it's hope. It's hope that one. Thank God this isn't as bad as it has been in the past of human history for any
Hmm.
country or any empire, any administration. But two, we're not laughing anymore like we did in 2015 and 2016 of like, who's this guy running? It's like the time for joking has gone.
Hmm.
Sure, you got to take this seriously. You have to organize, but you have to be smart and safe. And again, like we said in last week's episode, and what I've been posting, as you've seen on our social media, do not give them an excuse.
Yeah.
This is
And
this right
mhm.
now. And here's the thing, folks, it's January in America. Our winter hasn't really hit yet. Really hit yet. It really hasn't. So it's gonna get colder.
Yeah.
There it's the equivalent of any occupation force in wintertime. It just goes bad.
Yeah. Freaking
So
Minneapolis.
there is there is hope because of
Yeah.
how stupid the training is, how stupid the leaders are. You're tripling down for no reason. You're just not answering reporters' questions and just basically shit talking them and saying, "Well, you're dumb and biased. Go to hell. I don't care what you say. Move on." Um, oh, we're gonna distract you by the way with a diet. Just one piece of chicken, one piece of broccoli, corn tortillas, something else. Don't worry,
Yeah.
that's $3 a day. You'll be fine. You still haven't gotten the Epstein files released because it's like, and it baffles my mind because I don't know, maybe it's just us, but even watching Sean Ryan recently, he's like, I don't get it. I don't. Why doesn't it make? Why it just doesn't make sense to me. Someone explain to me why the Epstein files aren't released. I am so pissed. It doesn't make sense. You dipshit motherfucker. It's called money.
Hmm.
Called money and power. That's why all this shit is happening. It's called, as the Baron Harkonnen said in Dune, income. That's why the whole Iran bullshit, Greenland bullshit, Venezuelan bullshit, any
Hmm.
military conflict outside and now with inside our borders, it comes down to income. Money can be made from this. Get that through your head, folks.
And on the note of money, there in January 30th is the deadline for a congressional appropriations bill, which would um, involve how funding would be distributed to, amongst other agencies and departments, the Department of Homeland Security. Uh, might be a good idea to call your U.S. Congresspeople, Senate and House, and say, "Hey, I need you. We need you to vote to defund ICE." Um,
Defund. No,
especially
no, 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 no. Remember what you said last week? Abolish.
abolish, yeah.
Past that. We're
But
past
just
defund.
like don't give them any money in that appropriation bill. Yeah, no, no, sure, yeah, abolish ICE. Abolish ICE is a popular slogan now. It's more popular than defund the police was in 2020. It's something that like people across the aisle are getting on board with. It like people hate ICE that badly in
I don't,
America.
I don't like
And
how, oh God, I just had a scary thought. Abolish ICE is basically AI.
well, we won't say that. We won't abbreviate it to AI.
I'm just saying,
Um,
like, take basically, folks, take shit seriously. Deadlines are coming up. Shit, in February, the fucking Nuclear Arms fucking Act ends. We got a lot of shit happening this year. And
yeah.
guess what? There's more important shit than the fucking Super Bowl. So, but best way to end this is still be safe, be smart, educate yourself,
Yeah.
read everything. And if
Hmm.
you're like that person who says, well, I only watch this news organization channel. No, don't watch just one channel. You have to watch all of them. You have to read every article. Doesn't matter who it is. You have to read and watch everything right now.
Yeah.
Don't show bias or like, I'm not going to touch that. No, you have to watch also Fox News. You have to watch CNN and MSNBC. Watch your local news. Read all the articles. Listen and watch. Read, listen, watch, read everything you can because
Hmm.
that's how you stay a step ahead.
Yeah.
Even though he was pretty much a, God damn it, who was one of our founding fathers? Who wrote? Now I'm going to sound like a fucking uneducated idiot right now. Um,
It's okay. Everyone thinks you're smarter than Nick Shirley. Don't worry.
who's the guy who fucking wrote "All Men Are Created Equal"?
In the Declaration,
Yeah,
Thomas Jefferson.
Jefferson. Okay, Jefferson wanted and told people stay and as an educated population.
Yeah.
He said that for a reason, and he was a guy
Hmm.
whose fucking children were in slavery, but he
Yeah.
told the populace of America stay educated.
Yep.
Thomas Jefferson, yeah, Jefferson said stay educated, stay educated. There's a slogan for you folks.
Yeah.
Stay educated.
Hmm.
That was a good episode.
Yeah. Yeah. Thanks for listening or watching. Once again, we do have a more fun bonus episode on Patreon. So those countdowns we did about video game or about music and movies, we did one on video games a while ago and just never found a place to put it. You can if you what?
No, the Halo.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, no, it's on Patreon. People, please support us on Patreon. One, yes, we joke about In-N-Out food, but Travis does a lot of work here. He literally is like the muscle and veins and circulatory system of this podcast.
And you do a lot of work too.
I know, but I'm giving you the credit here. Hey, credit is due. Support our Patreon, please. We are on Instagram. We're on TikTok, the platform formerly known as Twitter. We're on YouTube, so you can see our beautiful, ugly mugs compared to our silky smooth voices.
Yeah.
And we, again, you know what? You know what's our sponsor right now, Travis? The power of friendship. That's this year.
Hey. Oh, bringing that back.
Yeah. We're going to keep going friendship hard on this, folks, because this is him and I. This is just how we talk. So keep tuning in, keep supporting us, keep spreading the word. We ain't going nowhere, and we are going to keep going and going every Tuesday. Stay
Thanks
safe.
for joining us.
Yeah, thank you, folks. Yeah, thank you to everyone who joins us every week. Thank you so much to our fans. We love you all, and
hopefully we'll talk about something different next week.
Oh, well, hopefully, but let's not jinx ourselves like we did all last year.
I have wood on my table.
Remember how many vacations got ruined? Good afternoon, good evening, and good night.
Bye, everyone.
We love you.